y equals sine 2 theta minus 60 degrees. And so for this case, it looks like it is a y equals a sine b theta minus h. So it's that format. And right now, we have to get rid of this 2 here because we need theta to be by itself. Okay, so to do that, we have to make it 2 outside the parentheses and then divide 2 here. So we'll have theta by itself, and this is now minus 30 degrees. Okay, so this is now the same as this format here. Okay, so our A, or our amplitude, is equal to 1, because again we have an invisible 1 on the side, and we have our number of cycles equal to 2. Then this minus 30 here, this is our h. What does that mean? H in this case is shift the graph, so the whole graph, to the right by 30 degrees or pi over 6. Okay, so the h here, if it's a minus h, then we shift to the right. If it is the plus h, then it's shift go to left. Okay, the plus h. Now we are ready to graph. So the first thing we have to remember is when we graph, we need a period. Okay, so number of cycle is given, so it's easy to find the period. So period is equal to 2 pi divided by number of cycles, which is 2. Then period is equal to pi. That means the whole pattern, again this is sine, so we start with 0, we go up to the maximum, then we go back to 0, then we go to minimum, then we go to 0 again. So the whole pattern there has to be completed once it reaches pi. Okay, so now we are ready to graph. So let us graph. Okay. Then this one right there. Let's see. And wait a minute, that's pi, so it has to be pi divided by 4, because 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 parts, it's pi divided by 4, because 0 here is just at the y-axis. Okay, so that's pi over 4. And then we also have to remember that we have to shift it 30 degrees later, or pi over 6. So I'm thinking of doing this 1, 2, 3, 4. So this will be pi over 4. This will be pi over 2, 3 pi over 4, and this will be pi. And if I want to continue, then this will be 5 pi over 4, and this will be 6 pi over 4. That will be plus 6 pi over 4. It will be 3 pi over 2, and so on and so forth. But so from there, okay, let's graph it. So it starts with 0. Then it go up to the maximum. So let's just have 1 over there and -1 there. So go up to the maximum. Go down to 0. Then go down again to minimum. Then go up to 0. So this is, so we go up. So that is one cycle, okay? One cycle. And our period is from 0 to pi. So 1 period, that's our 1 period. And then if we want to continue, then it means I go up to 1. Okay, this is another cycle. Then I go down to 0, and the next will be the minimum. Do this. Am I done? No, not yet, because this graph is just the y equals sine 2 theta, and we're not done there because we still have to shift 30 degrees to the right, or pi over 6 to the right. So let me add so that's pi there. So let me look for pi over, oh no, pi over 2 is there. I need pi over 6, right? So the pi over 2, I divide it by 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you notice, I have added pi over 6, pi over 3, 2 pi over 3, pi over 6. The reason for that is I need to shift the whole graph 30 degrees to the right. So in shifting, I will start with the first point, and what I just need actually is just the first point. I will just need to count how many points or how many spaces I need to move to the right. So I need to move here, right? That's 2 spaces, 1, 2. Okay, so with that in mind, I'll be able to move the next ones, 1, 2, and then this one will be 1, 2, and then 1, 2. This one will be 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so from there, my graph is shifted 30 degrees to the right. Okay, so this is now y equals sine 2 theta minus 30 degrees.